Hello, guys. Introduce yourselves.
Yeah, thank you, man. So I'm Francis. I run Keza Studio Limited. We are a software development agency. We specialize in helping first-time founders build their MVPs. We help with everything from the strategy, the design, the build, and the maintenance of their apps or web applications. I'm one of the directors of the company, as I said, but I wear many hats, literally and figuratively as well. So I pretty much handle a lot of stuff in the business, whether it's the sales. I actually do some design work as well. And yeah, pretty much that's me. We've been doing this for about 4 years now. And yeah, I'm here with Gyles today.
Cool, man. Yeah, so I'm Gyles. I project manage. I've been known for my work at a company called Brussel Lake Paragon. I used to code, and that's how I started. I started out as a web developer, and then I realized that we could get into more of the software app development space around like lockdown, COVID times. So that's why I put my project management hat on, and I've stayed there ever since for the last 5, 6 years. Met Francis, great guy. Met Francis a couple of years ago on the journey, and we've just kind of stayed in contact. So yeah, that's me.
All right, guys. I've got a couple questions for you guys.
Yep.
So,
Ready?
what's the most misunderstood thing about you guys being competitors?
I'll let you start.
The most understood thing about
Misunderstood.
thing about being competitors.
Yeah.
I've never I've I've never I've never looked at it as like competitors in that, oh, like I need to be better than you kind of thing. I've never looked at it like that. Like if I see someone doing something well, I'm more like, raw, like how can I learn from that person so I can do it too? Or if it's something that's way outside my remit, I'll just be like, alright, cool, like more power to them. Maybe, God, if the gods permit me one day in it, like I'll get there. But I think it's a bit of competition is good because it gives you someone to bounce off of in the same environment. And I felt like there was a period of time where I was doing it by myself because I didn't know anyone that looked like me that was doing what I was doing. I was just going off of me doing it because I saw someone years before I started that looked or was from where I was from that did it. So I kind of ran the race with the thought that people that have come before me have done it. But meeting like my age mates, yeah, that are doing it now, innit, like I could talk to you about like current issues, wasn't there in it. Like everyone else I know who was doing what I was doing at the level I was doing it at was in a completely different line of work, innit? So the conversations is like I have to draw metaphors and be like, what can I learn from this, that, and that? But to be honest, that's where books come in as well. I only started reading again recently, but yeah, I don't look at it in a bad way. I look at it as a good thing because I feel like I'm not alone in it. Like in it.
Yeah. No, thank you. I've, funny enough, like I've never looked at it on a adversarial type of thing, and I never felt that energy from the very first moment we connected. And funny enough, we actually connected because one of his old customers became one of our customers as well. And it actually prompted me to reach out to him. And then when we spoke, it was like because it's finally someone that could understand some of the stuff that I was going through, someone that could learn from. And so, yeah, I always sort of looked up to what you'd done. I think I'd be honest, you probably paved the way a little bit in the industry for like app development, especially for people that look like us. So I knew about your business before you kind of, I was even on the radar, probably even before I started properly getting into the app development side of things. And I think I just picked up so many useful skills from you. And then I think from the very beginning, we've always been, the vibe has always been there's enough room for everyone in this game. Because we can't take on all the work, and if anything, I'm more than delighted to send customers your way if I feel like we can't do something or maybe it might be a better fit for you. And I'd say the same if you feel the same about us, that you can do that. So yeah, I'd say the most misunderstood concept is that yeah, everyone has to step on each other to get on top. But really, it's an opportunity for everyone to learn from each other and grow and get better together and maximize. And yeah, that's probably the most misunderstood thing in my opinion anyway.
Right. Now, do you think the competition makes you guys sharper, or does it stress you guys more out? Does it stress you guys out?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. 100% it makes us sharper. Like, had I not spoken to you and seen what's working for you, I might have given up on Facebook ads. If you remember, the way I used to get leads when I first started in the app development game was completely different to what I'm doing now. And I think it took a conversation with you where you were like, hey, like, you should be doing adverts and here's how you should be doing it. And you sat me on a Google Meet call and just showed me everything. And I was like, okay. And so I tried it from there. And like, for the longest time, I didn't even believe it could work. I remember having a call with you where I was just like, bro, it's not working. I haven't closed a single thing. And you were convinced that it was going to work. And thank God I actually just stuck with it. And eventually it worked out for me.
Yeah, no, that's big. That's big. Yeah, I always looked at it like, it's like it's like I was hungry and I've gone into a dining room, yeah, and it's a banquet. But but then everyone outside the room, yeah, starving, yeah, and I haven't got enough mouths or hands to eat all the food that's here. So I'm trying to tell maybe one or two people, yeah, like the ones, yo, like man needs help with this food because it's gonna go off anyways if I don't tell you. There's opportunity here, innit? So sometimes with this, yeah, it's not like an industry where I can't tell my mum, innit? My mum ain't gonna do nothing. Like my mum barely knows how to use WhatsApp. You know what I'm saying? Just about, or like my relatives, yeah. So you have to want to do it and then obviously some of like my friends are very competent, but in other areas they do other things. So here is like a specialist skill. So if I've met someone who's also on the same journey and they're stuck with some things that I've been through before, I'm always gonna be like, yo, like, no, this is how I got through that, or this is how because I might show them how to do that, and then they go through that fine, and then I get stuck with something further down the line, and they know how to do that better than me, you know. And we've had those situations where it's like I'm good at marketing and getting customers and delivering, but there's some higher end projects where like Francis has more experience in design or in certain lines of work, and I've learned from him. I'm like, oh, okay, is that how you approach this? Or even like Eric, I've learned from like Eric's approach on how he reads code and stuff like this and how he assesses stuff. Like, I'm just trying to get work in like done. So there's so much more to learn outside of just kind of getting your first bit of bread. You know, like when you're in survival mode, it's like anything, give me anything, give me water, give me bread, I'll take it. But when you've been eating for a while, yeah, your palate adjusts and you start thinking, maybe I don't just want to eat any bread now. I might go for the baker's brand because you've been eating, innit? Like, so you can be a bit more picky now, innit? Like as to what you want and don't want. And I've also learned that. So I feel like no, competition is not a bad thing. Competition is necessary to excel. Like even when we're selling, sometimes people might be like, I don't want to go where everyone else is going because it's too saturated. But people are only going there because there's food there, you know, or there's opportunity there. So it's like, what skills can you take and apply to yourself so you can excel? I used to look at competition as a bad thing. Like when I was in school and I was playing sports, for example, obviously like you're on a pitch, you want to get through. But is a goal really a goal if there was no opposition? Like when you're playing football, it's like it's not the same, innit? Like it only matters when you've twined up the defender and, you know what I'm saying, bypass the goalkeeper and put in the back of the net. That's only when it matters. So competition is not a bad thing now.
All right. If you guys was to swap companies, what would shock you guys like the most about each other's worlds?
Okay, no, I want you to say what you think would shock me, and then I'll tell you what I think would shock you. Based on what I know of you.
Yeah, I think I think just having worked with Gyles for what, like, we've collaborated, we've, you know, just had loads of conversations back and forth. I think the biggest thing that still shocks me to this day is just how much you do for each customer. Like, you get so deeply involved with them. Like, I'm saying, you know, you're doing this for them. And just now you were mentioning how you're helping someone with a book. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. This is an app development client that's then turned into this, that's then turned into that. So I think just that will probably be the biggest culture shock for me. Like how dependent the clients become on with you, because you just do so much for them. I don't know if I could handle that. Maybe I've seen as well, like, just how many phone calls and messages you get throughout the day. Normally I have like a clear line of separation between when and where the customers can contact me, like, you know, through Slack or, and there's like SLAs of how long before we get back to them. But with you, I think it seems so instant. I think that would just like, that would blow my mind, especially, you know, I've been with you for like 10 minutes today and already I've seen so many calls come through right now. I think I can see messages popping through. So that might be the biggest culture shock, but it's as a result of something good, I'd say, where you go above and beyond for your customers.
Cool. And for me, I wouldn't say it's like probably shocking, but probably like the processes in Francis's business, because he's got like a lot of things down in terms of like boundaries with his personal life and being a family man and this type of thing. There's some times where you can't be working because you have to be with your kids and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm not there yet, but it's a good practice to carve out that time for yourself. Because if you don't stop yourself consciously, the work won't stop, because ultimately customers don't care in it. They want what they want. So it's for you to say like, nah, like my cutoff point is this, or I've got other times where I'm doing X, Y, and Z activity. And to be honest, that was important for me, even getting back into work after I took a break, because like mentally it's draining. It can be draining when there are no, you know, when things started working out well for me, I didn't have any boundaries because I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about like
Maximizing.
yeah, man came from a drought and now there's food, man. I was trying to stuff it in my pockets, in my shoes. Like I'm trying to figure out how to maximize the opportunity, but you can't do that when you're burnt out.
Yeah.
And you know, when you know you're all out of ideas and whatnot, and that rest time is important. So I've learned a lot from you in terms of having that structure and those boundaries so you can have like a balanced life.
Yep.
You know, like it's not impossible to be a business owner or be in business and still excelling, but have that time for yourself. So yeah.
To add to that, though, you're never gonna 100% prevent it. You're never gonna have absolute balance. If you're looking for balance, I don't know, go work in, I don't know, Tesco or something. And not that it's a bad career, but if you're looking for something stable, you know your shift. But this entrepreneur thing will take you in different directions. But of course, I think early on, me and my business partner, we said, you know, weekends are reserved for family. You know, there's a time period between 5:45 and 8 p.m. where we don't take any calls or do anything. You know, our employees, they know about that, so they know not to disturb us within those times, but those are strictly for the kids. I would say maybe we lose out some opportunities for that. Maybe we don't capitalize on everything that's in the banquet. But sometimes there's some things that I feel personally that I can't compromise on in that sense. But who knows, maybe it will change. I don't know. Hopefully not.
Yeah, no, that's
Right. Last and final question. So, Gyles, what's one thing you respect on how Francis runs his business?
cool. So when I met Francis, I felt like he had everything down in terms of what he wanted to do, the structure, what he'd already done with his customers, what happens when a customer comes into his business, how he handles them. Sure enough, as technology improves, there's going to be faster ways and better ways to do certain things. So we bounce off each other that way. But I was already impressed with, like, remember when I met him, it was because he got one of my customers that to be honest, he's being too polite, innit? I'd fallen out with that customer, yeah. I'd fallen out with, and the fallout was personal, innit? Like, from a business level is what it is, but I was kind of like, I'm not talking to them. On a schoolboy thing, innit? It kind of felt like, you know when you're in a school playground, like, things can be settled, but you're like, maybe you're still, like, don't touch me, man. Like, that kind of, I was saying, like, that kind of energy, yeah. I wasn't interested, but then he's had the skill set enough to, I was interested to talk to him, because I'm like, he's, you know, kind of, he's got something right, you know, even approaching me, even him reaching out to me, like, yo, what do you think of this, yeah? I was already impressed from then, because I know how hard it is to set up a business and to get a customer, or to have more than one. To have a customer even give you £10, the money someone gives to you, yeah, aside from them needing a problem solved, it is also a vote of trust, you know? And if you can build yourself up to a place where people trust you to part with, you know, they're not parting with a small amount of cash in it. Like, there's a lot of trust someone's putting in you to help build their business. That business is probably going to be something they use to fund their dreams, feed their family or whatnot. And they're giving you a vote of trust. Like, you've already got something right if people are doing that. So I was already impressed from then. I think, that was it for me. And then I wanted to see how I could add value and how I could assist. So when we got talking about the marketing stuff, I was more than happy to kind of impart any knowledge I had, because it was just all in my head. You know what I'm saying? It was like I'd been through it, I'd been burned like through life, not in a bad way, but just kind of have like a negative worldview of, like, I'd seen enough things to where I knew how to make the money to where, like, I just didn't care. Because, you know, in business, there's this whole thing of business is business. Like, and people that say that to me usually say it when they're about to cheat someone, you know? Like, business is business. That basically means don't blame me for whatever I do next, yeah? So I'd been through that chessboard, navigating and always playing the game. But then, you know, I think every now and again when I get the chance to, if I can, like, kind of quote unquote let my guard down and help someone do something when you're not playing chess, like, it makes it more interesting, because always having to have your guard up, it can be draining as well. So to answer your question, I was already impressed, just the fact that you built a business and you has customers. So
Thank you. 1 second. Can you come this way, by the way, and just using my phone? No, leave it.
no, that's fine. I just need to answer a question.
Yeah, if you can just film us filming. Does that make sense? No, it's fine, because we're going to edit that out anyway.
Is this for TikTok? Why is it so low?
Where's what low?
The video.
Right, so we're going to chop it up.
Oh,
You're gonna edit it.
Yeah, we'll chop it up. We'll chop it up into clips.
yeah, no.
Yeah. So just like, but don't get that in there, innit? Just like as if we're shooting for the camera. What was the question again? And then I'll go through it.
The question I asked him.
Yeah, but he's busy chatting, innit?
Oh, no, I'm
I
done.
like Dean Platts, yeah?
Yeah, man.
All right, you ready? Just ask me the same question again. Well, no, you don't need to. Just tell me. I just want to remember what the question was.
You can hold this one.
What's one thing you respect about Gyles and how he runs his business?
Yeah, I think in terms of there's many things that I respect about how you run your business. I think one thing I did learn is, and like you've always repeated it to me about how important marketing is. I don't know if you notice, you always give me like lyrics around, like marketing is everything. Like I remember I'll close a deal, maybe hop on a call and tell you, and then the first thing you're like is, make sure you put some money aside that you've just made and put that back into the marketing. So it's just that real dedication to lead generation and realizing how crucial that is part of this industry, this business. If you don't have leads, ultimately, you can't run a business. And like when I was identifying the 5 key pillars of what we're doing, it's like lead generation, sales, delivery, there's automation, there's recruitment, like all these 5 aspects. It doesn't none of it can work unless you start off with the lead generation. There's nothing that can happen unless you have that lead generation on point. So yeah, I'd say that that's one of the biggest things. I think I'd say one more just on the side as well. Sorry, just how dedicated you are to the follow up with clients, and no matter who the client is, like you treat them all as just important. And I really valued that, and I learned from that, just never looking sideways on someone, because ever since adopting that mindset, I've had clients who come in and think that their budget is one thing. And then after you chat to them, you explore more, all of a sudden the budget expands because they see the value, and then, you can close them at a higher value. So I'd say that those two things have really impressed me, that I've seen in how he runs his business.
What's the craziest pitch a client has requested?
Craziest pitch. It's the craziest product they've asked for.
Craziest pitch.
Do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
We've had worse than
The craziest request from a client. Bro, I've had so many of them, man. Let me think. I had a customer once here request to make an app that allows you to give your car fuel to someone else. So I said, okay, how does this work? He's like you'll be able to, I think it was like an EV car. Like, yeah, it was an EV for EV cars. You can store electricity in your phone and send that electricity to someone else's EV car so they can charge it on the go. And my man said this to me with a straight face. He said it to me with a straight face. Yeah. And these times, this is why I just started doing the app. So people are signing up with 20, 30, 40K budgets. Yeah. I'm thinking like, even attempting something like that costs like 300-400 grand plus, and you can't even do it. Like, it's not even possible to do. But I was thinking just being practical. He was like, because apps, you can do so much these days. And I listened to him, man. When I was like, is that the idea? He's like, yeah. I just said to him, like, nah, I can't do it. And it hurt me to say I can't do it because he had 40 grand.
But did he though?
I don't know, bro.
We
don't
know those people that say that they got lots of money, but
they ain't got 9. What was yours?
Yeah, so it's probably not as funny as yours, I can't lie. Oh, actually, I've got two. So first one I'd say, and actually it was a well-meaning guy as well. He's like finishing his master's degree, and he was trying to build an app that, okay, how do I explain it? So let's just say you're in Africa, and you've got, like an older generation smartphone. What it would allow you to do is it will allow you to emulate a much smarter phone. So say, for example, you've got like like a crappy iPhone 4C, and within there, it will be an app that allows you to kind of remotely have like a virtual machine inside your phone, so you can look at a more advanced phone within your crap. But it made no sense, because if your phone is like an older model, then it won't have the ability to handle the power of an iPhone 16.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I was just like, how did you even think that was going to work? And he was trying to introduce it from a perspective of, look, I want to give someone who's got a lesser model phone the ability to play certain games or access certain things that they couldn't access on their device. But it's like, it just doesn't make sense, especially where he was trying to launch it. Internet connectivity was going to be a problem, so probably won't even do what he intends it to do. So we just ended up telling him, go back to the drawing board. And then most recently we had a guy who was like, he works for the council, so he's always out in the community, and he was just like, yeah, I'd like to build an app that helps you find a toilet wherever you are. It tells you where there's a toilet, if it's free or paid for, and then it'll be which ones you have to pay for, which ones you don't have to pay for, and stuff like that. And then like whilst I was on a call with him, just showed him that, hey, there's like a database of this already there. And how do you even monetize something like this? So how are you going to pay this back? But yeah, that's the best thing I've got. probably not the greatest.
Nah, that's cool. But I just go to the pub when I need to use the toilet. There's nowhere around, isn't it?
True, but you've got lyrics.
Am I gonna go to an app and like look for? So I'll piss by the tree, bro. I mean, if I really have to, like, but I hear it. Well, people don't think through these things sometimes when they're making a business case. But you think like you being practical, like is there? Or you're very good at that actually. You're very good at that, like assessing. There's sometimes I'll notice that someone is just trying out an idea, and even if I'm not sure it's gonna work, I'll humor it, yeah. But Francis will assess it, and he won't take a job based on the merit that it's a dumb idea.
Yeah, no, because look, we're in this game. At the end of the day, I take it as if it's personal. Like I look at it, when you present your idea to me, in my head, I'm not thinking, why is this a bad idea? It's like, how could I actually make it work? What are the things that would have to go right for me to make this work? And then of course, from a selfish perspective, I'm thinking, if you're going to invest 10, 15, 20K on an app, like, how are you going to do it if it's not going to give you any return? Like, how are you going to be able to even sustain the payments? How are you going to be able to maintain it long term if you're just paying money out of your pocket and it's not something that's going to give you anything back? It just looks like, you might as well get all your money and burn it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you're not happy with the progress of your app, you're probably not going to continue with the app and stuff like that. And that's not good for me. I want a client that I can put on my website and say, look how happy they were with the work that we did for them.
What keeps you awake at night? Honestly.
That's a good one.
Kids.
What keeps you awake at night?
What keeps me awake at night is kids. I think from a business perspective, like I mentioned earlier about the 5 different pillars of a business: lead generation, sales, delivery, automation, recruitment. I think it's that lead generation side of things, like how many leads, quality leads. We've got employees now, just making sure that they're paid. We've always got, that we can always support them. Yeah. Paye. What are you saying?
Yeah, nice. That's sick, man. What keeps me awake at night, bro? Just thinking like, am I going to be doing this when I'm 40? Like, like what do I want to be doing when I'm 40? What do I want to be doing when I'm 50? Do I want to, sometimes I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Then I think, will I be enjoying the same thing when I'm 40 years old? And how do I want to evolve? Going, cool. Yeah. That's just probably thinking, I try not to overthink, but when all the work's done, I'll just think about like, what am I going to be on in the future, innit? Oxford.
Yeah. All
Probably
right.
Yeah.
If you woke up tomorrow and lost it all, what's the first thing you do to rebuild?
That's an easy one. Man's lost it all bedtimes. I'm saying, yeah, that was live. First of all, yeah, I feel like if I lost it all, I would just, from a practical standpoint, I would look at a gap in the market, like wherever I spotted a problem, I would look at how I can address that problem. And then I would get to marketing, bro. I'd look at what social platforms are good for me to market on. If I really had no money and I needed to start again, I would borrow a few £100 and then just start running ads, bro. Like get like a little camera on someone's phone and I'd just start. If I never had it all yet, if I lost everything and needed to start again, yeah, if my mental health is intact, the only thing I'll be looking at, yeah, is like what tools do I need? And if I have a phone, an internet connection, and a laptop, like I'll make it work, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, oops. Yeah. So, ask me the question again.
If you woke up tomorrow and lost it all, what's the first thing you do to rebuild?
If I woke up tomorrow and I lost it all, what's the first thing I'll do to rebuild it? This is an interesting one. I think first and foremost, what I'd want to do is just make sure that I get my access to ChatGPT first and foremost. Create like a strategy in terms of who I'm going to target. Create a very well defined ICP. What probably want to target is something around AI, which is like very popular right now. How can I help people automate their business processes, incorporate AI into their products, or build products that somehow involve AI? I would make sure I build a personal brand. Again, it's free to create an Instagram account. I'm pretty okay at that. I'd get some apps on my phone that allow me to film and edit easily. CapCut or Captions is the one that I use quite a lot. So yeah, create content, personal brand, give value for free. Literally, just create a bunch of scripts on ChatGPT. And then, yeah, I'll just start marketing the business. I'll do a combination of some paid ads, £5 a day, something like that on Facebook, but also some manual outreach. I'd reach out to businesses that I can, again, research with ChatGPT that are most likely to need that kind of service. And then I'll just be sending cold DMs on LinkedIn and Instagram, things like that. And yeah, I'd build like a small little website on something like Card, like, and then yeah, just try to get my first client so I can have a portfolio to show to the future clients. And in order to do that, I'd probably lower my prices, things like that.
Cool, man.